Hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Rosemary Silva Dumadag, and I'm the first reporter of our group. Our topic is all about managing human resources. Let's start with the job analysis. What is job analysis? Job analysis is a process to carefully examine a job and determine what its duties and requirements are. We also call it work analysis. It includes determining how important the duties are. The process also involves identifying the condition under which the worker must perform those duties. Additionally, job analysis includes listing what skills, attributes, and physical condition the employee must have, specifically the employee who does that particular job. When people carry out job analysis, they gather and analyze information regarding the content and human requirement of a job. And they also determine the context in which the worker must perform the job. And we use the process of job analysis to determine the placements of jobs. If somebody who specializes in analyzing jobs is a job analyst, we call it job analyst. Next is how to perform a job analysis. The first one is reviewing the job responsibilities of current employees. Number 2, doing internet research and viewing sample job descriptions online or offline highlighting similar jobs. 3, analyzing the work duties, tasks, and responsibilities that the employee filing the position needs to accomplish. Number 4, researching and sharing with other companies that have similar jobs. 5, articulate the most important outcomes or contributions needed from the position. Next is the importance of job analysis. How important the job analysis are. The benefits that we gain for a job analysis are many. However, there are few things organization must do in order to successfully execute a job analysis so that it is both successful and legally defensible. Job analysis identifies job candidates with the highest potential to become top performers. A job analysis is the most comprehensive way to understand specific can do and will do components of your service, sales, and support job. And with the help of a job analysis, you can accurately identify job candidates with the highest potential to become high performers. By using job analysis to build a solid talent selection foundation, your organization can reap benefits that include higher customer satisfaction, higher revenue per call, lower early stage attrition, and an improved company culture. Next is, what is the purpose of job analysis and HRM, or in human resource management? Job analysis in human resource management refers to the process of identifying and determining the duties, responsibilities, and specification of a given job. It encompasses the collection of data required to put together a job description that will attract the right person to fill in the role. Job analysis and HRM help establish the level of experience, qualifications, skills, and knowledge needed to perform a job successfully. Here are some of the main purposes of job analysis and HRM. The first one is job designing and redesigning. The job analyst and HR manager can work together to improve job specification, increase professional output, and incite company growth. Technically speaking, job attempts to integrate work content like those tasks, functions, relationships with that of skill requirement applicable for each job that meets the needs of the employees and also the organization as a whole. So job design is about the way the tasks are combined to form complete jobs in the workplace. On the other hand, job redesign has its focus on how existing jobs are changed. So job design therefore encompasses specification of tasks that are to be performed by employees in the organization, and it includes any anticipated interpersonal and task relationship. Number two, human resource recruitment and selection. So it is an important operation in HRM because it is designed to maximize employee strength in order to meet the employer's strategic goals and objectives. It is a process of sourcing, screening, shortlisting, and selecting the right candidates for the required vacant position. So, the job analysis here highlights the level of job analysis data highlights the level of education, qualifications, experience, and skills that need to be held by ideal candidates, as I said before. 3. Determining training needs. So job analysis help HR professional develop adequate training procedures. So a successful training needs analysis will identify those who need training and what kind of training is needed. Number 4, establishing a compensation management policy. So a well-defined compensation management policy helps organization retain, motivate, and guide current talent while also attracting new talent. It describes the details of the compensation components in the organization, how they are used, and the condition for the employees as the compensation component can be applied in their specific situation. Number 5, conducting performance reviews. Using data from the job analysis process is necessary for when HR professionals carry out performance reviews. Job analysis clearly defines the objectives of a job and sets scalable goals for employees that reflect their performance. So the next one is compensation. So what is compensation? So compensation, it is the total cash and non-cash payments that you give to an employee in exchange for the work they do for your business. It is typically one of the biggest expenses for businesses with employees. Compensation is more than an employee's regular paid wages. It also includes many other types of wages and benefits. So, compensation may be used to recruit and retain qualified employees, increase or maintain morally satisfaction, reward and encourage peak performance, achieve internal and external equity, reduce turnover and encourage company loyalty, modify practices of unions. So, what are the components of a compensation? So, first one is the job descriptions. So the job description help a potential employee know if the position is a good fit for him or for her. It will also guarantee the most qualified applicant pool for the employer. In the end, the more detailed and descriptive the job descriptions can be, the better it will be for attracting and retaining high-quality employees who will love their jobs. Next is the job analysis. This process of analyzing jobs from which job descriptions are developed. So job analysis techniques include the use of interviews, questionnaires, and observation. So job evaluation. It is a system for comparing jobs for the purpose of determining appropriate compensation levels for individual jobs or job elements. Number 4, pay structures. This is useful for standardizing compensation practices. Number 5, salary surveys. So, it is a collection of salary and market data. May include average salaries, inflation indicators, cost of living indicators, salary budget averages. Companies may purchase results of surveys conducted by survey vendors or may conduct their own salary surveys. So lastly is policy and regulations. So what is different type of compensation? The base pay, commissions, overtime pay, bonuses, profit sharing, merit pay, stock options, travel meal housing allowance, benefits including dental, insurance, medical vacation leaves, retirement. So what is the regulations affecting compensation? So tinatawag itong Fair Labor Standards Act or FLSA. It establishes minimum wage, overtime pay, record keeping, and youth employment standards affecting employees in the private sector and federal, state, and local governments. So these laws define certain aspects of pay, influence how much pay a person may receive, and shape general benefits plans. Because there are many federal, states, and local employment and tax laws that impact compensation. So the FLSA or the Fair Labor Standards Act is probably the most important piece of compensation legislation. Small business owners should be thoroughly familiar with it. This act contains 5 major wage, overtime pay, record-keeping requirement, and child labor. And it has been amended on several occasions over the years. So most of the regulations set out in the Fair Labor Standard Act impact non-exempt employees. Next is the salary administration. So what is the salary administration? It is a collection of practices and procedure used for planning and distributing company-wide compensation programs for employees. These practices include employees at all levels and are usually handled by the accounting department of a company. So the basic purpose of this is to establish and maintain an equitable wage and salary structure. One of the most important aspects of a job for most workers is the wage or salary it pays. Wages allow workers to make a living from their labor. So they also provide incentives to be productive and loyal to an employer. In a broader sense, the wages workers earn fuel the economy. So let's talk about the components of a salary structure. So number 1 is the basic salary. So basic salary, it is the amount paid to an employee before any extras are added or taken off. So ito yung sweldo na tatanggapin mo buo, na wala pang binabawas at wala pang dinadagdag. The next one is allowance. The amount of something that is permitted especially within a set of regulations. So it is given on a regular basis in order to help them pay for the things they need. Number 3 is dearness allowance. It is a salary paid to employees and it's paid by the government to employees of the public sector. Number 4 is the house rent allowance. It is an allowance paid by employers to their employees as a compensation for the rent they pay for residing at homes in the city. So number 5 is conveyance rent allowance. It is a type of allowance offered by a company to compensate for their travel from their place of residence to the workplace. Next is leave travel allowance. It is an allowance paid by employers to their employees that can be utilized when they go for a vacation. Next is medical allowance. It's a fixed allowance that an employer pays to its employees as a part of their salary to meet their regular medical needs. In other words, a fixed monthly salary allowance given as a part of your salary to fulfill your medical expenses, and it's called medical allowance. Next is books and periodical allowance. It is a personal employee benefit that is provided to an employee to meet expenses on the purchase of books, periodicals, and newspapers. And some employers pay their employees books and periodical allowance. And next is gratuity. It's a lump sum amount paid by the employer to the employee as a token of appreciation for the services they have provided towards the company. So, but it is important to know what are the eligibility and the amount of gratuity that an employee will receive. So, the next one is Employee Provident Fund. This scheme is a very beneficial for all employees for developing a corpus after the retirement because the amount collected in the EPF account is provided to the employees after they retire. Next is professional tax. It is a tax that is levied by the state government and applies to income you earn through employment. Next one is prerequisites. In essence, these are usually non-cash benefits given by an employer to employees in addition to cash salary or wages. And lastly, ESIC, which we call it Employee State Insurance Corporation.